in Long Beach every year, and it's the annual Curb bike ride. And to talk all about it is Billy Papetti. So Billy, let's talk about the annual Curb bike ride.
All right, thank you, Howie. Well, the annual Curb bike ride, it's all proceeds go to Citizens United to Remove Barriers. It's also known as Curb, and it happens on Saturday, August 13th this year. It's always the second Saturday of August, and it's a 12-mile easy bike ride all around Long Beach. It's not a race. It's to benefit the physically challenged, and they do great stuff all over Long Beach. They're advocates for the curb cuts on every corner. It's advocates for the new boardwalk ramps. And they install wheelchair ramps and lifts in the people's homes of those who need them. Any questions?
Yeah, sure. Bill, I think it's great, and I love bringing organizations like yours on the show. It's fantastic. How did you get involved? You're a young guy. What made you get involved with Curb?
Well, this is actually our 8th year doing the bike ride. Myself and two of my friends, Casey Cantor and Matt Demburst, started the ride when we were just 15 years old.
Wow.
And we wanted to do a bike ride because it still is to this day the only biking event in Long Beach. And we wanted to do a biking event, and we all rode our bikes, and then we decided we wanted to do it for an organization. And we picked Curb because of the president at the time, Jim Conlon, and 2 days before the first ride, he passed away. So every year we do the ride in memory of him. So it's been growing every year, and our first year we had 26 riders. We've grown to almost 300, and we're hoping for 500 this year.
Yeah. You know, that is so incredible to me that, you know, as a 15-year-old, you wanted to get so involved with something so great. You know, to me, it's really inspirational. Talk about the fact that you and your two friends have brought this from a small event to a big event, and how much personal satisfaction do you get out of getting involved in such a great event?
Well, it's the greatest feeling knowing that you're helping people, and we get so much satisfaction because of that. I don't even know, because we never thought, well, we hoped, but we never thought it was going to grow this big. Our first year when it was just our friends, then we made it open to the public, and then it's just growing out of control. We have people from as far as Oregon and as close as Long Beach doing it.
Wow. All right, Bill, let's give out the phone number in case anyone wants to get involved, the website, and again, the date of the event and the location where it's going to start and finish.
Well, if you're interested, you can call 516-431-1093 or visit the website for an application. It's www.bike4curb.com, and that's the number 4, so bike4curb.com. And the date of the ride is Saturday, August 13th at 10 a.m. and registration opens at 9 a.m.
Okay. Where?
And it starts at the Long Beach Catholic School on New York and Penn Street in Long Beach.
Great, excellent job, Bill. That's great. We'll have you back next week to continue promoting. It's a great event. I happened to meet Gary Polakowski over the weekend at our new sponsor, Biddy Mulligan's, going to be coming on board, hopefully. And Gary is involved in a fantastic event. It's going to be 3 days over the weekend. And let's welcome in Gary Polakowski. And Gary, talk about your 3-day event happening here over the weekend.
Thanks, Howie. This 3-day event is called Boobs and Tubes, and it is an event that has happened, and we started in Michigan over 13 years ago. A friend of mine started it. His name is Scott Eichel, and the event started with just friends, and it grew and grew and grew from there. It is now an event in Michigan that takes on between 1,000 and 1,500 people, and we've tied it every year to a good cause. Friends of the trip have had problems, have had health issues, so we've used proceeds from this trip to help these friends. So really, what the trip is about, it's camping, tubing, volleyball, and then, as you discussed earlier, music. We've added music to connect people. So we have lots of DJs that come in and spin for the event. which is a great great addition to the to the whole program. So we've been doing this in Michigan for about 13 years, and I decided in this last year to bring it to Long Beach. I moved to Long Beach when I was right out of college, and I lived here until about 2005. Moved away to Michigan and came back, and 2 years later, I decided that it made sense to do this event that I learned about in Michigan here. This year, our charity is Gilda's Club. Gilda's Club is a cancer support society, and we've tied our charity here to Gilda's Club New York City, and in Michigan to Gilda's Club Grand Rapids. So we're looking forward to a great event this year. I'd love to field your questions if you have any.
Yeah, sure. First of all, if someone wants to call you or they want to go on your website, how can they get in contact?
Sure. Well, our website is www.boobsandtubes.com, BOOBS and A-N-D, tubes, TUBES.com. You can also go to our website or on Facebook, our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/boobs and A-N-D tubes. We are available, through email as well, info@boobsandtubes.com, or you can give a call at 516-782-1293 if you have any questions.
And where exactly is this event taking place? And we discussed before the show, sounds like a great event, but where exactly will it be and how can people get involved for a great weekend?
Okay, great. Well, this year in New York for our first annual Boobs and Tubes, we will be holding it at Skinner's Falls in Narrowsburg, New York. The way to get involved, very simple. You can go online and you can register online, but you'll need a FOF code, and what that really means is it's a friend of friend. The way that we started this trip was based on friends, so when we meet people and we get to know people, and Long Beach is a tight community, that is one of the reasons I came on the show. We do have a lot of folks from Long Beach who are attending this event. So our FOF code for this event is GPOL, and if you'd like to register, you would need that code to register.
All right, great. All right, so that's another great event coming up. Speaking of great events, Joanna, it seems like you always have a great event coming up. Obviously not as big as the Barrier Blues, but it's kind of like a follow-up of the Barrier Blues, so why don't we give it to Joanna Matheson, who spoke so eloquently before about her great event coming up soon here in Long Beach.
Thanks again, Howie. This August 7th, Sunday, August 7th, from 11 o'clock until 5 o'clock, we'll be in Arts in the Plaza. And we're going to be doing, we got rained out, I don't know if you remember, but we did get rained out our family programs. We're going to have a workshop with Mike Barnett and his trio, and they will be doing an instrumental workshop. All instruments are welcome. Just bring a chair and some enthusiasm, and they're going to be doing some blues, different licks, different ways of playing blues, and it's going to be like an open jam for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then for the little ones, we have a crafts workshop, and they will be creating instruments from recycled objects. We've got all kinds of stuff that's being collected, and they will be doing a blues jam, kids at the end, with their homemade instruments, just to show them some of the ways that even back in the day, musicians used to use some very, very simple things like cigar boxes, or they would take a string and put it on the porch and play that as an instrument because they were so poor. And kids will, I think, get an appreciation of making sounds from things, from just common objects. And then at 12:30, we've got Mike Barnett Band will be playing, and that will be followed up by Greg Corey at 2:30. So we have artist booths and photographers and jewelry makers and craftspeople. It's a really, really wonderful event. It's a weekly event on Sundays, and we don't have the event next week, this coming Sunday, but on the 7th we will. And then follow up, we don't have the details yet, but the first weekend of the Quicksilver, we are planning a big event, from my lips to God's ears. I keep my fingers crossed that we'll be able to do that. But we'll be looking to do a lot of reggae music, and maybe even some Hawaiian music, because of the event that we're going to have here, kind of to celebrate the culture of the surfing culture as well.
All right, on that note, we'll take a break, and we have an author coming up after the break, and we also have our very own Tracy. We're going to talk about the Waterfront Warriors, a great parade down Beach Street. So we'll talk about some more great events, and we have some more interesting stuff ahead, so keep it right here on 1240 a.m. This is broadcasting on the beach with Halftme Howie on Long Island's first and oldest radio station, WGBB. More conversation, more Long Beach. Great stuff.